Hey everyone, before this video starts, I just want to point out that I've been working a lot this past week, so if my hands look literally beat up, that's why. Today I wanted to do a pick a card reading. I've been wanting to do this for a while, it's just I haven't had the motivation to, but at the moment it is 2 a.m. I leave to go see my family today, but before that I have work, and then I am scouting out my apartment just to make sure everything is, working. But yeah, it's 2 a.m. I woke up randomly at 1:50, I believe, so I thought now would be a good time. So if you haven't done a pick a card reading before, basically you look at one of the 6 cards that you see here, and which one kind of brings you in is the one that you should choose. Sometimes people like to choose by the gemstones, so what I have here is from left to right, Rhodochrosite, Sunstone, Malachite, Angelite, Lapis, and Amethyst. And I'll give you some time to actually look it through and see which one you vibe with. Alright, and now let's get started. Alright, you're here because you chose Rhodochrosite, and the cards you got were Justice, the Four of Swords, the Two of Swords. I definitely feel like you've been conflicted about something. The Ten of Swords, yeah. There's something definitely troubling you. It might have something to do with your childhood, but that might also just be me and my psychology background. So what I see here, you also have the High Priestess. So what I see here, just off the top of my head, is you've been struggling with an internal conflict. You don't know whether or not you should continue to do something that you do enjoy, or if you should stop and try something new. Although the thing that you're doing right now, you do enjoy, I do see with the Ten of Swords, it has been painful for you. But because you've invested so much time in it, with the Seven of Pentacles, you're just hoping that something good comes out of it, but you're not sure if something will. The High Priestess tells us to take care of ourselves, and with the Four of Swords, it tells us, although the journey can end, it doesn't have to stop. But is that the right choice for you? And do you think that's fair? I'm also seeing a more political side of this. So the first message didn't resonate. Maybe your family is on one end of the spectrum and you're on the other, and you're not sure whether or not to speak out about them, or if you should just pretend that you're one of them and keep the peace. But ACAB, I feel like if your political views do clash with your parents, you need to say something, because sometimes people just need to be educated. With the High Priestess, she teaches others. She allows people to heal by teaching them. With the Two of Swords, I do see there's a decision, and with Justice, there's a decision that is beneficial towards you, and a decision that is right. It's just a matter of, will it hurt you? With the Ten of Swords, I see that you do need to change your perspective a bit. What you've been doing for the past few months, maybe for a few years, it's not going to help you like it did before. Something does need to change. And I do see that although what you've done in the past can't be done in the future, I do see something good coming out of it with the 7 of Pentacles. I once saw in a video, I'm not too sure where, the 4 of Swords represents a knight coming home, when their tomb was already made for them, just in case they died in battle. And here we have him resting on top of it. However, you can see with the eyes coming out from the coffin that the journey's not over. Although he did come back from war, he can still go out to battle again. So, it's a matter of, do you want to be safe and do things for yourself? Or do you want to take a risk and have justice for all? And with Rhodochrosite, the gemstone, it promotes, I believe, good vibes. It's a stone that is supposed to lift your depression, unblock your heart, and just allow you to feel your self-worth and realize the emotional side of things. I personally got this stone just because I tend to think with my head. And so with this stone, I've been able to think about the more emotional reasons of things, not the practical. Sometimes the practical isn't that practical. So I hope this has clarified some things for you. Mainly I see that there's a decision that has to be made, and the more you delay it, the worse it gets for everyone. Alright. Group number 2, you're here because you chose Sunstone. I got this gem just because I saw it as joy, but it turns out there's a lot more healing properties, which I will tell you about once we lay out the cards. So, right off the bat, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the 6 of Pentacles, the World, sorry for my pronunciations, the Magician, the Ace of Chalices, and the Queen of Wands. So, on either side of the spectrum, we have queens. I do see with the World and the 6 of Pentacles, you've definitely clinged on to something that is no longer relevant to your life right now. I see it with the 1 of Chalices, you maybe cling on to a past relationship, perhaps even something in the past that has affected you for the better, and because it was so good compared to what you have now, you don't want to let that go. However, the world promotes us to view more than what we are. The world is in a globe, and it's telling us to not only explore it, but with my specific deck, it's telling us to break out and look beyond what we already... to look beyond our own sphere of things. And with each queen, the Queen of Pentacles represents a motherly figure. She promotes nourishment, caring, and just motherly properties. Whereas the Queen of Wands, she promotes passion. She promotes getting what you want, and as a queen, she already has what she wants, and she used her passions to benefit her. And I also see with the Magician that you have the tools to make something amazing, but it's because of 6 of Pentacles that you're clinging on to something that just isn't healthy for you anymore. I rarely get the world in any of my readings, but in the few ones that I have, it's because there was an unhealthy attachment to the past that needs to be let go of. I do see with the Ace of Chalices that there is something new coming to your life, or it may already be in your life, and it's starting up all these new emotions that you want to take the risk, but you're afraid of getting hurt, or you're afraid it won't be as good as before. But the queens are telling you to take that risk, because if it wasn't for the risk that they took, they wouldn't be on the throne they are on now. So, I definitely see this deck as being more of a risk-taking scenario. Deck, did I just say deck? I meant spread. The spread is definitely telling you to let go of the past and take a little risk. A life without risk is not a life I would like to live, and I hope that whatever this risk is will be worth it in the end. Because you do have the tools to make something great with the Magician, and your emotions are probably the strongest it's been in a while with the Ace of Chalices. It's just a matter of letting go of the past and trusting that something good will come out of it. And Sunstone is actually a gem that I got a few days ago. I actually got the Evil's Eye and candles that day too, and there were a lot of coincidences that day. Let's just say I kind of joke about Apollo being my dad, and I used to have a sun pendant which I currently lost. It's done this before and shown up random places the next few months. I once found it in my running shoes, which I've worn the past 3 months that it went missing, and I never felt it in there. But at the moment I wanted to get something to replace it, so Sunstone. And Sunstone actually is a stress reliever. It calls you to be happy and heightens your intuition, which, with taking a risk, might be good for you. The Sunstone is light. It's supposed to shine upon the shadows and just clear a path for you. It's like shining a light on your insecurities, shining a light on your fears, and just giving you something to look at. When the tunnel is so dark, the light shines brightly at the end of it, just so you know that it is there. Maybe you've been in the dark for a while and you've been clinging on to what you thought was the light. There's a new light coming for you, and I hope you go trace it. Alright, on to one of my favorite gemstones. We have Malachite. And I'll just say this now, 3 of the 6 cards you're about to see dropped on the floor. So, definitely this message you've been ignoring for a while. Ooh, and I don't read upside down cards, but all these cards were upside down. You could perhaps flip the message, but here we are. We have... Oh, that's interesting. This card was actually upside down. The rest of it was right side up. So maybe I will read the cards like that. So we have the 5 of Pentacles, the 2 of Pentacles. See, you've been ignoring it. The 3 of Wands, the 3 of Pentacles, the 8 of Chalices, and the 6 of Chalices. So with the 2 3s of the Wands and Pentacles, I see that there's something great coming for you. It's a matter of risk and a matter of patience. With the 3 of Wands, it's something adventurous, something huge is coming for you. But sometimes the risk isn't worth taking. However, if you do take the risk, something amazing can happen. It's a matter of all the cards in your favor. And with the 3 of Pentacles, it tells you to be dedicated to your craft. Once you start something, you should finish it. Me, personally, when I start something and I don't get an instant reward for it, it tends to discourage me. But the 3 of Pentacles tells you to continue to do your work, and it might take a while, but people will recognize you for it. However, combined with the 2 of Pentacles and the 8 of Chalices, I feel like there have been a bunch of doors opening for you that have seemed like huge risks which you did not want to take. However, you've clearly been ignoring something with the 8 of Chalices. She has looked away from what she was given, and now she's no longer alive to take those risks. By the way, my deck is a ghost deck. This isn't meant to tell you your time is running out, it's just my deck is full of ghosts. So she ran out of time. She never took what she was given because she kept looking for more. And so now she doesn't get to use any of the chalices. So I do feel like there have been opportunities for you in the past. Your risk to reward ratio was off. Way off, my dudes. Because it does look like with the 6 of Chalices, your past is just another face of the future, which is just another face of the present, and so forth. You've been given these opportunities for a while, and maybe in the past, something screwed you over, so now you're taking that anger into the present, which makes you more wary of taking a risk. But the 5 of Pentacles does call on us to have a balance between the material and the spiritual. And with it being upside down, I feel like you've forgotten that. I feel like you are more focused on material goals instead of your spiritual goals and how you feel inside. Yes, what you're doing now might be safe for you. It might be calm and everything is just at ease. But are you really content with what you have now? I feel like deep down you know that something's telling you you need to take that risk. You need to realize that an old project perhaps that you started but stopped, I feel like you want to take that risk and start it. And I do see that although it won't give you immediate satisfaction, there is some gold at the end of that. Sometimes you find imbalance, which is what the Two of Pentacles talks about. Typically, because it is a pentacle, it talks about financial / stability in general. You're maybe juggling too much. Sometimes it's in your head, sometimes it's in person, physically. Eventually, when you keep juggling all these, one of them is bound to slip, and that might cause the entire scheme to fall apart. So, out of everything I've said, I feel like one of the bigger questions you should answer is, are you happy with what you have, or are you comfortable? Because although physically you could be comfortable, emotionally, you might want to have more, and that's fine. You just gotta remember, nothing comes without risk, and everything takes time. I do feel like something good has been in your life that you've been neglecting. It's just a matter of what it is, and would you go back to it, or will you try to just play it safe? And on the topic of your material versus spiritual needs being unbalanced, Malachite actually helps with connecting to our spiritual side. It supposedly activates all the chakras and kind of rearranges them so that they're open to unconditional love, to spiritual guidance, and kind of just clears your aura of negative vibes. It's literally a vibe check, and I hope you take this one, because I feel like something good will come out of this. Next up, we have group number 4, the one with Angelite. With Malachite, a bunch of the cards popped out on me, so I knew they were ignoring something. However, with Angelite, they didn't pop out. However, it was very easy to grab the cards that Angelite wanted me to know. So first off, we have the Lovers, which is interesting given the one card that I did see prior. We then have the Knight of Swords, the Two of Chalices. Oh, I definitely see something good coming for you. However, I do see there's some blockage. However, I do see some challenges with the Knight of Chalices combined with the Four of Pentacles and Judgment. On a surface level, the Knight of Swords represents knowledge. He knows when to tell people things and when not to tell people things. However, I feel like you've had an imbalance recently, and the Four of Pentacles represents solitude. You can't find peace in solitude, and true happiness can only come from expressing yourself. I definitely feel like you've been keeping your emotions a secret, because on a surface level, the Knight of Chalices is all about emotion. You definitely feel something. It's a fantasy in your head. However, those fantasies can come to light if you'd only open up about it. I do see with the Two of Chalices and the Lover's card in the Major Arcana, there is something good coming for you, and maybe it's already come for you. Because the Two of Chalices represents kind of love at first sight. Something where, although it may not last long, it's gonna feel like an eternity has passed with them. And with the Lover's cards from the Major Arcana, I know that this thing that's coming for you is gonna last a long time. Because love is just infinite. And with both the Major Lover's cards, I definitely feel like someone is coming into your life. It's just a matter of expressing yourself, because judgment will come for you. It's not a bad thing, it's just everyone gets judged. For the better, for the worse. But I feel like in this specific scenario, the judgment comes from yourself. I feel like you tend to be in your head. You believe that you're only sharing what you need to share, but really you're not sharing enough. You're kind of closing yourself off to happiness, closing yourself off to opportunities, and in the end, the person who's judging you the most is yourself, because you have these fantasies in your head which you want to fulfill with someone. And I do see someone is coming for you in a good way. That sounds frightening. Someone's coming for you in a good way, and you have the fantasies you want to fulfill with them. It's just a matter of speaking up and maybe making the first move, actually. This is one of the more happier spreads I've read so far, and I really feel like you should go for it. You have the Major Arcana and the Minor Arcana lovers on your side. You have the Knights who are telling you to stop looking for mysteries and start finding them, start speaking them. Because at the end of the day, if you're left alone to your thoughts, the person who's going to judge you the most is yourself. Not society, not your parents, not your friends, but yourself on your regrets of what could have been. I do see like an air sign and a water sign. Perhaps one of you is an air sign and the other one is a water sign. Solely because the lovers are surrounded by their air sign, I feel like the person coming into your life could be an air sign, which is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Whereas being isolated and being judged, I feel like you would then be the Chalice with the water sign, the Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces perhaps. Or perhaps it's a past lover. Perhaps you are shut off because of a past lover that hurt you, who could have been an air sign or a water sign. But Angelite is all about being with your higher self and understanding. It's awareness. I believe Angelite is something that activates the throat chakra, but also your third eye, and don't quote me on this, but the crown chakra. Each of those being to guide your higher self, but also to speak out more. The throat chakra is something I do a lot of work with. The throat chakra is, well, your throat. It's about speaking up and being able to speak, because usually if the throat chakra is blocked, you tend to be more isolated with your thoughts. Angelite, if you believe it, will help you connect with your spirit guides. The spirit guides are always with you, always trying to communicate with you. It's just a matter of looking at the signs. It's literally inner guidance, and if you're not like an angels or spirits person, that's fine. I'm not really either. But Angelite does promote guidance in a way. So I feel like this is definitely guiding you to something happier. Alright, next up we have Lapis, probably my favorite gemstone. With Lapis, we start off very strong. The Ace of Wands is the purest of passions. You definitely have something stirring for you. And I do see that people are trying to help you, or perhaps you're trying to help other people, because you're looking for an answer. But maybe things aren't going your way exactly, maybe things are a bit harder than you thought it would be. But this is about having faith, because you know what you want, and you want to get what you want. So it's just a matter of standing your ground and opening your eyes to new opportunities. So with this spread, I definitely see that you are an opportunist of some sorts. You look for answers when you have questions, and you don't like backing down. However, I do feel that there is a lack of faith. Not spiritually, but maybe in yourself in recent months. I know with coronavirus, a lot of people have been, a lot of plans had to have been cancelled. So I'll assume a lot of business plans have also had to been cancelled. But I need to tell you that I can never say his real name, so I call him the priest. With the priest, he promotes you to have faith in yourself, to have faith that others will have faith in yourself, because although maybe at the moment things aren't going your way, it looks like it's just a big thunderstorm, someone will be there to shield you. You are not building this on false ground. There's there's reason, and you are so passionate about this project perhaps. And maybe you haven't started this project, maybe it's just something that's been in your head. But with the Emperor, he promotes that you do what you need to do. He gets what he wants, and he is the Emperor for a reason. He had an idea in his head, he put it through, and he got what he wanted. And with the Two of Wands, I do see that perhaps you're trying to do this alone. Perhaps you've only been considering what you think of things. But I feel like this might be a social project. So maybe consider what the community has to say. If you're an influencer, consider what your followers have to say. And perhaps if you have a really close friend, consider what they have to say. The Two of Wands promotes us to not only look at what we think of the world, but to think about what someone else thinks of it. So perhaps you've been starting to overthink things and it builds up in your mind. But if you just have faith in yourself and allow someone to help you, allow someone to show you what they think, it might help you find the truth, and it might help you grow whatever it is you're trying to grow. Because there is power in what you're about to do. It's just a matter of letting someone help. I am someone who actually struggles with letting people help me, and with Lapis, it stimulates the ability to tell the truth. It stimulates your creativity for your passion, but also clarity. I find this so funny. I ran out of storage right after I said clarity, but Lapis says find clarity in things. If you've been in your head for a while, you should find a way to clear your mind, kinda not start from scratch, but realize what is happening and what you made up in your head. But that'd be all for group number 5. On to the next one. Did I say Lapis was my favorite stone? Because honestly, Amethyst is pretty good too. I was looking for this necklace to put in the video for the longest time, and it turns out it was around my neck, because I never take it off my neck. With Amethyst, we start off with, and don't be freaked out, death never means death. It means the beginning of a new chapter, or the end of something major in your life. And with the Empress, I feel like there was a project you've had for a while that either is finally coming to fruition or is being scrapped completely. However, I find this as a teaching experience. If it's being scrapped, perhaps this scrap project will teach you how to do things for the future. But if it's not being scrapped, in fact, if it's being launched, then this is a stepping stone for you. But I do have to warn you, because sometimes we take on more than we should. This project may be a big one. Maybe that's why it failed, or maybe that's why it's succeeding, but I will have to warn you, there's a lot of challenges you will have to face with this, and there's going to be a lot more research that you will have to do about it. However, I do see that you're someone who likes a challenge. You're someone who likes to look for the answers, or someone who wants to look for answers. For some reason, I'm definitely getting business vibes from this. And so, maybe there is a project that you've been brewing for a while. Maybe it's time that it finally came to fruition. Maybe it's time that you did the research, you took the risk, and you started something completely new for yourself. With the King of Swords, he is all about teaching, but also learning. Nothing is ever one or the other. When you start a new project, you're always learning, but you can always teach others how to do things too. Nothing is ever set in stone. Things can always be changed, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. It's a matter of finding what works best for you though. And I feel like that's the bigger message of this. Maybe this is a group business project, but if it doesn't work for you, this isn't a project you should take, because if there's a lot of risk in it and you're getting nothing out of it, is that a risk you really want to take? Make sure that when you do something, you do it for yourself. Yes, it can help others. But how can you help others if you're not even happy with yourself? A lot of why I got Amethyst in the first place was because I was having trouble making a decision, which I usually never have. However, with Amethyst, it's about clearing your mind. It helps you, relieve stress, calms you down. It brings balance to your mind and soul, and allows you to communicate better. But a lot of Amethyst is about healing and stress release. So I do feel like this project, whatever this is, has been burdening you a lot. And yeah, it's fun to research, and yeah, it's something that you want to share with everyone. It's a matter of, is it worth risking your health for? That's a decision that you have to make. But I definitely see that you are prepared for this. You know what you're getting yourself into. It's just a matter of, it might have a great outcome. But are you okay? So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if nothing really resonated with you, or if something started to, but then I said something else. Me and my cards, we have this connection. I feel like everyone who has tarot cards can feel this. Although, on the pamphlets that come with the boxes, although it might say one thing, or if majority of tarot readers will say one thing, to us, with our deck, that specific card might mean something completely different. So if you saw a card and you're like, that's not what that means. For me and my deck, I've done readings for people since 2017. Yes, I know what the card means, but this is just how the card feels to me, and I've never been wrong with a reading, so if it didn't resonate with you, I'm sorry. It's also 3 a.m. now, so yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm thinking of maybe making more in the future. Hopefully Tommy in the future actually fills you in on what Sleep Deprived Tommy is trying to say. But I'll see you guys next time. That was a lot less dramatic than I wanted to. You should have unlit yourself a lot sooner.